Okay, I'm going to be unboxing a very special combo my friend was able to get, and I'm just going to be showing you, hopefully along the way, as we build this computer. Okay guys, so my friend, long story short, hopefully, he had a gaming laptop that was like 4 years old, finally bit the dust, and so I've been telling him forever to get a desktop, and of course he has to be able to play his games, and so building him a damn cheap, excuse my language, darn cheap gaming computer, and this combo is the very heart of how cheap it's going to be. Before rebate, which he's probably not going to end up doing the rebate, both of these combined were $110, which is an absurdly good deal, I think, because this CPU alone, this is the Pentium anniversary processor, is unlocked. The G3258 is $70 alone just for this. And so this motherboard, you know, for $40 is a steal. I mean, it's normally like $60 to $80, so you're just getting like, you know, a solid $40 discount. It's actually like $60 discount, but you know, it's a good motherboard too, with good features. It's more than enough for what he needed. So CPU, not much to unbox. I'm just gonna, you know, open it real quick just to kind of show that there's a heat sink in here. If there's not a heat sink, we're gonna have a problem. But there is said heat sink. Just a manual, and then one needs to read. Heat sink. This is the very thin one, same one in my computer right there, that black one. Which is a very thin heat sink. Actually, might be the thicker version. I'm not entirely sure, but still, it's thin. Gets the job done. This Pentium 55-watt CPU is gonna run super cool even with this tiny heatsink. No problem with that. Eventually, since it's unlocked, I'm gonna get in and buy an aftermarket heatsink. You know, maybe half a year from now or something, once you get a beefier power supply, you can overclock it. And that's the thing with this processor. It's such a good value. It's a $70 processor normally, but you can overclock it easy to match i3s that are $50 more for, like, you know, a $20 heatsink slapped on top of it. So it's an incredible value. And the thing is, it matches. It's like only like 5 FPS in like high-end games, less than an i7. You're talking a $300 processor getting like almost beat by a $70 processor. It's kind of insane. But now you got your sink is the G3258 at stock 3.2 gigahertz, and these easily go up into the 4s with very little heat and voltage, and this board happens to be supportive of the higher voltages. And it's actually a B85 motherboard, which isn't supposed to overclock CPUs, but I guess until something bypassed in their whatever architecture or something, and this board is able to overclock instead of having a Z series, which costs more. Yep, there's your CPU. That's nice little, perfect for his gaming computer. I'm thinking about telling him to get a 750 Ti, depending on what goes on sale, and it'll be a nice low power, snappy gaming computer, much faster than what he had, and actually cheaper. Okay, get to what really matters in this unboxing, the motherboard. Excuse my cold. Well, so you just put this off to the side here. What I'll probably do is end up installing the CPU tonight. He ordered the case and everything. He's coming up. He's 2 hours away from here, so he's coming up. I'm gonna build it for him, and then we're gonna get everything set up. He has some parts back home, so he's gonna bring up. I'm gonna build a whole computer and have a good time. Because of 2 SATA cables, very necessary. He has 1 hard drive, 1 terabyte hybrid drive, and that will last him quite some time. He has a lot of games, but not enough to fill up the terabyte. So that should be good once he gets a solid state drive, which hopefully will be soon. Got your MSI, you know, black and white booklet. Glad I make them black and white. You know, it's kind of irks me they would pay so much money for color in these things, but because nobody has to be able to read these. I won't probably read this. I might look at it. That's about it. Drivers. Only use this if you don't have internet. Like, you just don't have internet. And if it's because your LAN driver's not installed, then install the LAN driver and then download everything else new. Otherwise, you don't need that. These are very useful. I'm glad more companies are doing this. I know Asus has been doing it for a long time. MSI, thank you for adding these. I think you and Asus are one of the companies that do this, maybe another one. But they're stainless that go on the motherboard, and this is so all your front panel headers can plug into this, and you just plug one thing into the motherboard instead of having, oh, what's this one go? What direction does this go? Blah blah blah. Makes it a lot simpler. And actually better than normal I/O plate. It's black and red, so that's gonna be nice. Not particularly gonna match his theme. He's going with a blue light LED. He got a case that can switch between blue and red, so maybe he'll choose red just because the motherboard is red, but it's up to him. It's his computer. Got a cool little badge. It comes with all the MSI boards. I've helped a few other people install MSI boards, and this generation has been a very good board for the price, that's for sure. And you got your gaming. It's a nice little addition. Hopefully it doesn't cost them too much to add that. It's just cool little things like this make you value it. And what else is in here? Just a user's guide, and that can be useful. Some maybe advanced features don't know about yet. Little things. But I was gonna put all this stuff back in here, and that should show you the motherboard. Colds suck, by the way. Also, that sounds a lot worse than it really is. Let's see. Okay, let's unstrap this thingamajigger. So I found out, last year, I guess, that the outside of these bags are actually conduct electricity. It's the inside that doesn't conduct electricity, which is weird. I guess these lines or something. I have no clue how this bag works. But you're not supposed to set the thing on top of the bag just because it still has the chance of static shock. But apparently, cardboard, it's just fine. So that's what we're gonna do. Boom, cardboard, and should be good against static shocks, or even this desk surface is laminate, and that truthfully should be fine as well. But just make sure I have carpet on my floors, and make sure you just ground yourself before you touch it, or something like that. Touch a piece of metal, touch your computer's case or something. Ground yourself. Make sure you don't have any static electricity on you, and then you should be totally safe to touch this. So on the board, got a PCI Express slot, another PCI Express slot, and 2x1 PCI Express slot. So no PCI, and that's good. That's fun and dandy. I was gonna give him a PCI sound card, but who cares? This actually has the audio blaster built in, which is nice. You might actually use that. We'll decide about that. Because I have a few friends that have this type of board with this in it, and it seems to help a little bit with the sound quality. Definitely. Integrated sound is definitely better than it used to be. Got your South Bridge heatsink, which has a cool design on it. He does have a window in the case he got, so it doesn't really matter all too much. But I like MSI's design. The Dragon's pretty awesome. Let's turn around to the SATA ports. Got 6 SATA ports. Has more than enough. I don't think he can even fit 6 drives in his computer. You're getting a solid state, 2 hard drives, and 2 DVD drives, so 5. And he'd be lucky if he gets 1 hard drive, 1 solid state drive, and 1 DVD drive. So more SATA drives, SATA ports than he'll ever use, which is good for him. And then your 24-pin power. You got your USB 3 header. This case he got did not have a USB 3 header, but he can always just get an add-on. It has a 3.5-inch drive bay, so you can get an add-on with USB in the front if he so desires. But the bright side of this board, USB 3 on the back. It's just a smaller case. That's why we would have got a mini ITX board, but this was on sale and it ended up being a lot cheaper. So, and more features. So why not? So we got a decent sized case. It's like you go from in this to like right here. And I mean, it's not super big, but it's like this tall. More compact kind of LAN computer, if you will. So since he does plan on transporting this computer a lot. And so what he's going to do at first is play in integrated graphics. Yes, that sucks. And the integrated graphics on this Pentium is some of the slowest graphics Intel has right now for graphics, but it should be able to play Skyrim, which is his most played game currently, and some other Source games and stuff. But yeah, got your PS2 port if you have an old keyboard, old mouse that wants to plug in there. A couple of USB 2 ports, which is nice. These are, I believe, USB 2 as well. You got your, what's this? This is HDMI. Should have known that. Is this display port? Yeah, display port. So you have 4 graphics ports on this, which is awesome. So I guess you could have 4 monitors, because my integrated in here has 4 ports, and it can actually support 4 monitors, oddly enough, on integrated graphics, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. Or at least 3. It definitely can support 3. Got your killer gigabit LAN. Don't know if that really works, but it'll be nice to have him. It's for sure fast. Wish I had Wi-Fi built on the board, but you can't get everything, you know. You got 2 USB 3s. Got your VGA, got your DVI, got 7.1 surround. He I don't think he even owns speakers for his computer, so or really crappy speakers, so he's just gonna use headphones typically with this, and so that's more than enough sound for him. I bought him actually a USB little creative audio thing, but I think this audio boost creative stuff built into the motherboard is actually going to be a better deal than a better thing than having the USB attached. Hopefully we'll see once this gets built. And then let's turn this around. You got your CPU socket right here. Got your Norfolk cheesething, so it's not very big. And I guess that's on the move sets. I forgot what you call it. But has a 4-pin power. But I mean, you're overclocking a dual-core CPU. It's not going to use over 100 something watts, whatever the max limit of this 4-pin is. So he should be good. As well as this heatsink. I mean, I'm probably only going to overclock it when I do like 4.2 gigahertz overclock would be a solid overclock on this, and that I think that would be about starting to get your max performance gains per clock speed. So that should be pretty good. Let's look at some of the other features. You got your fan, some 4-pin fan headers on this board. Got one right here for your CPU, and as well as one right over here. His case is weird how it has fans. He has one 120 in the front on a fan controller, and it's the only one the case came with, but we got another. We ended up getting an Noctua. His dad bought the case for him, so we figured it's like, well, you can't really see inside the case, so the color in the Noctua doesn't clash too badly. It's gonna be there's 2 back 80mm fans, and 80mm can be a lot louder than 120s for the airflow you get. So it's like the Noctua is quieter by 3 decibels, which is a decent amount of sound, and as well as had a higher flow rate than some of the cheaper fans. I mean, it's like a $6 difference. So it's like they paid $6 more to get a quieter fan and a bit better performance. And so they're gonna have to get about 2, I'd say at least 2 more fans after that. But I think if they connect them to the motherboard right here, on these, and have the motherboard control the fan speed, they should have a really quiet computer, and you're just web browsing gaming, you're not going to notice because he's going to have his headset on, and going to be having noises and explosions and whatever else going on, and you won't even notice the fan noise. It's just when you're web browsing, you have a drone in the background. I don't know if you can hear mine. It's quiet as it'll go, and it's not very, like, when it's gaming, it's quite a bit louder, but it's not really gonna, you're not gonna notice it. Now you got your 4 RAM slots here. He actually got from a friend, he ended up getting 16 gigs of RAM, beyond overkill for him. It's like 2100 megahertz, like Cas 11 stuff. So, I mean, it's good. It's probably about as good as maybe 1866 Cas 9, or probably 1600 Cas 9, which is what I have. Which, I mean, RAM speed isn't really what matters in game. It doesn't matter too much for games, so it doesn't really matter. The bright side is his dad also needs a new computer, so he can, since he really doesn't need over 8 gigs of RAM, he can cut it in half. Boom, his dad has already RAM. And yeah, he got the RAM for $80, is what I was going to say. 16 gigs for $80 is like half off right now. So that's a pretty dang good deal. Otherwise, I mean, you got your old standard other features on this board. I'll link them below. Let's make me promise that. Comment below if I don't have any links. But yeah, I'll have the Newegg links to this, each separate item. Instead $110 would have been $95 or something. Or maybe it's actually $105. I don't know, it's around $100. And it could have been $95 or something after the rebate, but you know, doesn't do the rebate, then you won't get the $10 back. But that's, sometimes it's not worth doing it. But yeah, I think this is going to be a great board, great build. Tell me what you think down below, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.